Hey guys, welcome back to the world of English exams. Have you seen what we are going to do today? Yes, we are going to start solving the reading test from the latest Cambridge release, that is IELTS 14. So I'm pretty much excited about solving this test for you, and we are going to learn many strategies and how to get the right answer for all the questions in this test, and it is going to be divided into three parts. So I'm going to explain everything in detail by starting with how to analyze the question and how to read the paragraph and mark the keywords, and finally how to find the right answer and confirm that whatever answer you have selected is the right one. So in this part we are going to learn about the first 14 questions of the test, and these questions would cover true, false, not given, as well as identifying the paragraph that contains the information. This question type is often felt to be very difficult for most of the students, and we are going to solve that, and I'm going to help you out with how to get the answers right if in the future you want to try the same question type. So without any further delay, let's start the video. So in this particular reading test from the 14th edition of the Cambridge IELTS test papers for general training, the first 6 questions, that is question numbers 1 to 6, are for true, false and not given. So we will begin solving the paper by first looking at the questions, and then I'm going to give you the paragraph, and I'm going to individually divide the questions and help you with each and every question. So let's get started. So the first 6 questions appear something like this in your Cambridge 14 general training test 1. And this is how you need to identify true, false, not given. If you have seen that in the instructions, you are clearly given 3 points, that is true, false, not given, and followed by that are 6 statements. So always for true, false and not given, there would be statements and not questions. Okay, so you need to analyze these statements, mark the keywords, and then find the right answer for that. And this is the passage for which these questions are given. The title for this passage says transition care for the elderly. So this has something to do with a care facility that is called transition care, which is meant specifically for the elderly. So here we have various side headings. That is, the first one, what is transition care? Then the second side heading, who provides these transition care services? Then where do I receive transition care, and what if I am already receiving services through a different program? So they're going to give you the complete information about transition care, where you can receive it, who is eligible for that, and what if you are already enrolled in a different program. So this passage helps us to get the answers for these true, false and not given. Now, before I begin solving the test, it is mandatory for all of you to know the strategy first of all. Not merely solving the paper will help you, isn't it? So on that purpose, I am going to give you the detailed step-by-step process of how you can solve true or false or not given. So please do follow me and stay tuned. So this is the slide that shows you the process for solving true, false, not given. So it is just 3 steps that that is sufficient in getting the answer for any passage for which you get true, false, not given. The first thing you do is read the statement given very carefully. You are going to read whatever the statement is given, and please do not hurry and read all the statements, because usually for true, false, not given, what I have observed is the questions are given in such a way that the context is followed in a sequence, which means the answers for these questions are usually in a sequence. So you don't need to worry too much about the sequence of the options or the answers. So you can just read one question at a time. Then what do? You mark the keywords. So now the keywords are those words which are very important in getting the right answer, usually nouns, verbs, adjectives. So these words are considered to be keywords, but sometimes adverbs are also very important. We are going to see that while we solve the questions. Then final step, you're going to read the text intensively. Now this here lies the key. You're just not going to skim and scan, but you're going to read the entire text related to that particular statement in a very crystal clear manner, so that you can identify whether the answer is right or wrong. In other words, whether it is true or false, you can identify only if you read the entire context. If you confirm the answer just by reading a single line, then you might not land up in the correct answer, because the context can change in the next or the following sentence. So now how do you confirm the answer? So if the statement agrees with the text, then it is true. So here agreement should be 100%, 100%. Only then you're going to confirm that the answer is true. Then if the statement contradicts with the text, that is, the statement is telling something else which does not match with what you see in the text, in that case you will give the answer as false. And if no information is given about it, or partial information is given, that is, half of the context matches and there is no information regarding the rest of the half of the statement, then you go for the answer as not given. Okay, so this is the brief process of how to solve true, false, not given. And of course, we have already come up with a detailed video explaining this process in detail with a passage on our YouTube channel, World of English Exams. You need not worry. If you wish to check that video, you can just see the link for it in the description box. So now let's break these questions one by one, and let me help you to identify that paragraph and that context. Let's get started. Okay, so the first statement, the first question I must say is, only hospital patients can go on to have transition care. Now, what do you understand from this? Only those patients in a hospital can be eligible to go and have this transition care. So this is how you need to take a few moments of time to analyze what that statement means. So here, forget about the passage for the time being. Just look at the keywords in the statement. So the keywords here are only. Most of the candidates are not marking adverbs like only. So here only is the deciding factor whether the answer could be a true or a false or not given. So here it indicates that transition care is restricted only to those patients who are in the hospital. So then of course you will underline hospital patients, because that helps you decide the right answer. Then go on, that means they are eligible, they can use it. Then transition care. So transition care helps us to locate the paragraph, but here we are actually looking for hospital patients. So please bear these keywords in mind. Now let's read it. What is transition care? Transition care is for older people. Of course, we are not concerned about older people in this context. Who have been receiving medical treatment. Of course, medical treatment does not mean hospital, but need more help to recover, and the time to make a decision about the best place for them to live in a longer term. So all this is unrelated to the given statement. Now look at the last sentence. You can only access the transition care directly from the hospital. So if you are a patient who is in the hospital, then only you are eligible to access the transition care. Now here lies the key. If you can see here, the words transition care, directly, only and hospital are matched. That is the reason we are looking at the overall meaning of the statement, and hence the answer is confirmed as true, because the meaning is matching. Guys, here let me tell you that we are not intending to match the keywords. In fact, here we did not find the word patients, but it is talking about older people as we read from the beginning, and now it is telling that you can only access, which means the elderly people can only access it directly from the hospital. So now I hope you have understood why the first answer is true. Let's move on to the second statement. Transition care may be long term or short term. Now just like in the previous question, let us analyze the keywords in this statement. Of course, transition care. Then here maybe indicates it is a condition. It may be or it may not be. Long term or short term. So long term is nothing but something like permanent or for a longer duration of time, whereas short term is temporary. So now let's focus on reading the corresponding text. Transition care is focused on individual goals. So far we did not get any keyword. And therapies, and is given for a limited time only. So now here term and time are synonyms. What is given again? And is given for a limited time only, but in the statement it says either for a long term or for a short term, but that is wrong, isn't it? So whatever is given in the passage is contradicting with whatever is given in the question or the statement. Hence we confirm the answer as false. Remember, it has to be contradictory. If no information is given, then you finalize the answer as not given. However, in this case information is given but in the opposite sense. That's why you're confirming the answer to be false. Okay, so now let's move on to the third statement. Everyone, that means everyone indicates each and every individual. So everyone receiving the transition care must contribute to the cost. So here, what is the meaning of must? It is an obligation. It is compulsory for everybody who is taking or receiving the transition care to contribute. That means they have to pay something in order to avail the facility of transition care. So now what are the keywords? Everyone. So this is the key, and must contribute and cost. Here if you are neglecting the modal verb must, then it will be a problem. Here must indicates a compulsion. So even in the text you need to find that meaning which says that it is obligatory. If you don't find it, then the answer cannot be true. Let's progress to reading the passage now. Who provides transition care services? Transition care is often provided by non-government organizations and is subsidized by the government. Okay, so it is combinedly funded both by non-government organizations as well as the government. Okay, so far we did not get something related to the cost and everyone. So now let's continue reading. If your circumstances allow. So what is the meaning of if? Conditions apply. So it means that there is no compulsion. If you can, if it is possible. So if your circumstances allow, it is expected that you will contribute to the cost. That means there is no compulsion. In fact, they are telling that only if it is possible you can, you are expected. Otherwise, anyway, they are receiving the funding from the non-government organizations and the government. So here lies the key. If you are not reading the sentence which is above the context, then you are unable to confirm what is the right answer. But now you have a concrete proof that the answer is going to be false, because in the statement it is given that it is compulsory, and in the text it is given that it is not compulsory but it is your choice. So hence the answer for this statement is false. I hope you are following what I am trying to say. Now let's progress with the next question. Transition care at home is again only available. So such words are the key. So transition care at home is only available for patients who live alone. So what are they trying to say? If you are living alone, if you are a patient and if you are living alone, then transition care is available for you at home. So that is the only condition. It's only available if you are living alone. Then now let's look at the keywords. So as you can see, the keywords in this statement are at home. Of course, the entire passage is about transition care. I don't need to underline that as a specific keyword. Then at home, okay, and only available. This is the major part. Only available and living alone. So these two are very important to locate the answer. Now let's see. And here patients are living alone. So this has something to do with where do I receive transition care. It's talking about the various locations where transition care can be received. So transition care is provided in your home. Okay. So far we got half of the answer. So transition care is available at our home or in a live-in setting. So here either you can avail the service at your own home or in a live-in setting. Okay, so far we did not get any related information for patients who live alone. We did not get that term alone or the meaning of it. This setting can be a part of an existing aged care home or health facility, such as a separate wing of a hospital. So it's only mentioning 4 places. First one, home. Second one, live-in setting. Third one, aged care home, or fourth one, health facility. Is there anything mentioned about those who live alone? No, right? So hence this is partially given. It is not completely given, but it is partially given. Hence, let's go back to what our instructions say. I have clearly mentioned, if you look at the last instruction in blue, if no information is given or partial information is given, then we decide the answer as not given. So following that rubric, we now finalize this answer as not given. So it's not mentioned about patients who live alone. So I hope you have now understood the difference between what is false and what is not given. There is a lot of confusion among students. That's why I wanted to take time to clarify that. Moving on to the next statement. Transition care may be given on a hospital site. So may be given is nothing but it is not compulsory, but patients may avail. Now let's start reading this. So again the same passage, but the keywords are may, given on a hospital site. Here the main words are may and on the hospital site. So we have just read this, but the answer lies in the last part of the sentence. So it may be provided at your own home or in a living setting. The setting can be a part of an existed aged care home or health facility, such as a separate wing of a hospital. So definitely, can I receive this facility at the hospital? Yes. So definitely that answer goes to be true. Health facility includes health facility such as a separate wing of a hospital, which means that I can take the care facility on a hospital site. The answer is true, because the context matches 100%. Now moving on to the last question in this series of true, false, not given. Then you may lose your place. Again, this is not a compulsion. You may, that means there is always a chance. You may lose your place in a care home if you have to leave it to receive transition care. So now what are they telling us? You may lose your place in the care home. So if you are already in a care home and if you choose to leave somewhere else to receive the transition care, then your place in this home will be lost or may be lost. That is what the statement says. Now what are the keywords here? You, lose your place, care home, leave it. Okay, so here we need to find the related context as to what happens if we choose to leave to some other place to receive the transition care. Now let's read what is given in the passage. What if I am already receiving services through a different program? If you are already receiving subsidized residential care in an aged care home, but you need to go somewhere else. Now here comes the context. But you need to go somewhere else for the transition care. Your place in the aged care home will be held until you return. Will be held is nothing but it will be safeguarded. So you are not going to lose your place. So that is what is clearly mentioned in the text. But what is given in the question, in the statement, it is that you may lose your place, but here it is telling your place will be held. So will indicates a compulsion, so definitiveness. So definitely your place will not be lost. So hence the answer is false. So this is how you need to solve true, false, not given. And I hope you understood how to do that. And here is the answer key for the first 6 questions. The first answer is true, second answer is false, third answer is also false, fourth one is not given, fifth answer is true, and the sixth answer is false. If you require time to solve this for yourself, you can also find the same text passage on our blog www.worldofenglishexams.blogspot.com. So you can just go on to that, or you can just search for the blog of our website worldofenglishexams.com and you can easily find that. So let's move on to solving the next set of questions. So question number 7 to 14 are for the question type identifying the paragraph. A small and important information that I want to disclose before I get to solve this is, without this question type, there is not even a single general training question paper these days. So all the students, all the candidates who are going to take their general training test must ensure that you have adequately practiced this question type, because in all, I mean every single reading test paper, you will get to see this question type, and you have to analyze and learn the strategy to get the answers right for this. So now let's see what this question type would actually look like. Yes, so this is how the question type would look like. You can see that the instruction says which paragraph mentions the following. In other words, you can also find the heading as which paragraph contains the following information, or for which of the following are the given statements true. Guys, let me tell you, if you find that as the instruction, you should not confuse between the para matching and true false not given. So this is how you need to identify this particular question type. And as you can see here, they are clearly mentioning write the correct letter A to E in the boxes. And now comes an important instruction. Can you see that there is something called NB? NB. So this is a special type of instruction for these questions. This question type falls under the matching question type category, and NB means note beat. It means that you may use any letter more than once. Guys, if you find this in the instructions, you need to confirm that at least one paragraph will contain two answers, the information related to two questions. For example, what I mean by NB is, let's imagine that we are reading a particular paragraph. Let's imagine paragraph A. You can see that the paragraphs are alphabetically arranged, A, B, C, D, so on. So what I mean by NB is that any one of the paragraphs or two paragraphs can contain multiple answers. So you don't need to stop reading the paragraph, but you need to continue reading the entire paragraph because NB is there. If you find NB in the instructions, my sincere suggestion to all of you is do not stop reading the passage in the first two sentences. Please read the entire passage, because we do not know which paragraph can contain two answers. So we have to be very vigilant if you see this instruction called NB. Now let's read. Now let's see what kind of questions are given here and what is the process to be followed. So it is talking something about the zips in this cabin bag may be difficult to use. This cabin bag may be badly damaged if it is dropped. So everything is talking about cabin bags. The handles of this cabin bag have a number of different problems. This cabin bag is very resistant to water. There is a good choice of patterns for the fabric of this cabin bag. The cabin bag isn't very easy to move around, and again this cabin bag has just one internal zipped pocket. The trolley handle of this cabin bag is adjustable. So at the first glance you will not understand what this is unless and until you know the process to solve it. Again, just like how we have learned the step-by-step way to answer the questions for true false not given, even here I'm going to come up with a process, and this is it, guys. So the process is very simple, and again it is a three-step method. First one, read all the statements. Yes, you heard it right. Whenever you see this question type, do not read the questions one by one. If you do so, it means that you're going to waste a lot of time, because the paragraphs may contain more than one answers, and we do not know which paragraph contains the answer for which question. So there is no point in reading just one statement and reading all the paragraphs, then reading the second statement and reading all the paragraphs. Don't you see that it is a waste of time? Hence, what do we do in order to overcome this? We are going to read all the statements. So before we begin the answering process, we are going to read all the statements. Followed by that, look for NB. So I have just told you clearly what is the meaning of NB. And of course, you are going to underline the keywords. So keyword analysis plays a very important role, not just in reading, but also in listening, writing and speaking. Finally, the last step is read each paragraph and match it to the data which is given in the statements. So I hope you understood this, and we have already made a clear video explaining all these steps in detail with an example paragraph on our YouTube channel World of English Exams, the link for which is going to be provided in the description box. Don't forget to check that video out. So now let's see how to follow this 3-step method. So the first step is you're going to read all the statements, and now what I have done, I have clearly indicated the keywords beside the statement. I always encourage my students to do that, because once you analyze and once you know what you're looking for, the matching process becomes quite easy. And guys, never expect to find the exact words in the statement. Always look for synonyms. So this is my advice to all of you. Now here we can find NB, which means I have confirmed that at least one of the paragraphs will be repeated twice. So let's see what it is. But before that, first one, we are going to read all the statements and we are going to analyze the keywords. First one, the zips of this cabin bag may be difficult to use. So what are the keywords? Clearly, you are not going to underline cabin bags because all the statements contain that word. So it's better to avoid that. So here the keywords are zips and difficult to use. That means I got an idea that it is very difficult to open and close the zips on this bag. Okay, wonderful. Then the next one, this cabin bag may be badly damaged if it is dropped. So here the only keyword is badly damaged and dropped. Yes. So here you can see that badly damaged indicates that this bag needs to be used very carefully. So even if it is dropped, it would be damaged and of course unusable. Then next one, the handles of this cabin bag have a number of different problems. So here the keywords are handles, number of different problems. That means it is very difficult to operate the handles, use the handles. Next one, this cabin bag is very resistant to water. Clearly the keyword is resistant to water, that is, it is waterproof. Okay, next one, there is a good choice of patterns of fabric for this cabin bag. So here the keyword is choice of patterns and fabric. Then next one, this cabin bag isn't. Guys, here comes the clue, isn't, which means it is a negative statement. So this cabin bag isn't very easy to move around. If you are not underlining the word isn't, then it means that you are definitely going to get the wrong answer. So here what does it say? It is not easy to move this bag around. That means it is very difficult to hold this and move this. Okay, wonderful. Then next one, this cabin bag has just one internal zipped pocket. That means it has only one internal pocket, that too it is zipped. So that is the keyword which I have written there. Then the next one, the trolley handle of this cabin bag is adjustable. So here the keywords are trolley handle and adjustable. Okay, so now having understood and analyzed the keywords, let's proceed to reading the paragraphs. And as I previously mentioned, you can also find this paragraph on our website www.worldofenglishexams.com. So now let's read one paragraph after another. So the first passage says, the Flyer B3 is an ultra lightweight cabin bag. So this cabin bag is ultra lightweight, so it's not very heavy, okay, which can withstand some pretty harsh treatment. That means it is very tough. So it is not the answer for 8th question, because 8th question says this cabin bag may be badly damaged if it is dropped. But here they are telling that it can withstand some harsh treatments. Okay, wonderful. So let's continue reading. So far we did not get any question or any statement which is given in this paragraph. So let's continue. Its nylon and polyester sides won't rip or burst open if it is dropped or thrown whilst in transit. So again they are confirming that it is a very tough bag. Then however, the trolley handle feels quite thin and flimsy. So there are two problems with the handle. What is that? It feels quite thin, and that too it's flimsy. Now we got the clue. Which answer is that? Yes, so here we can see that handle, the word handle is given in two statements, statement 9 and statement 14. Now let's read both those. The handles of this cabin bag have a number of problems. Yes or no? Yes. So we did find the context for that. What are the different problems? It is thin and it is flimsy. So now quickly let's write the answer for the 9th question as A. So the 9th answer is A, but since NB is there, I am not supposed to discontinue reading the passage. Now, I have to continue reading the last sentence. Okay, so the top carrying handle is hard and flat, and the side handle isn't easy to grip. Again, it is talking about the other problems which are encountered when using the handles of this bag. So clearly it is now confirmed that the 9th answer is A. Now let's follow the same strategy to answer the next questions. So let's read paragraph B. The light glide has two external pockets. Now let's see which of the statements are talking about pockets. Question number 7, no pockets. Question number 8, no. Question number 9 we have already solved. Question number 10, resistant to water, no pockets. 11th one, no pockets. 12th one, no. 13th, yes. So it is talking about this cabin bag has just one internal zipped pocket. But what is telling in paragraph B? So it has two external pockets. So there is nothing about internal pocket as such, both of which are zipped and lockable. Okay, so both the external pockets can be zipped, but the inside pocket does not zip. But here in this statement it says one internal zipped pocket, but here it is telling it cannot be zipped. So definitely that's not the answer we are looking for. That's what I keep telling you guys. Do not confirm the answer by just looking at the keywords. You need to understand what the passage means. Then let's continue. In tests we have found that the contents remain dry. Oh, so the contents are remaining dry when given a good soaking even around the zips. That means it is water resistant, waterproof. Now which statement talks about that? Yes, 10th one. You can see that this cabin bag is very resistant to water, isn't it? Because it can remain dry. So it can remain dry means it is resistant to water. So 10th answer would be B. But are we going to stop reading the passage here? No, because we got the instruction as NB. Come on. The trolley handle, again it's talking about handle. So the trolley handle has a choice of two heights. That means it is adjustable. Which statement is giving us that? Yes, can you look at the 14th statement? The trolley handle of this cabin bag is adjustable. So this is what NB means. We have seen that the same paragraph contains two different questions. So here the answers for 10th question and 14th question are both B. Now we are very confident that NB is understood. So now let's see. Let's continue reading. The trolley handle has a choice of two heights, and the plastic hand grip doesn't have any sharp edges, sharp ridges that will make your hand sore. For carrying, there are fabric handles at the top and side. That's it, guys. So we did not get any other information in this paragraph. Now let's continue reading the paragraph C. The Foxton is easy to control across most surfaces. Okay, so that means it's very easy to move that. However, the zips don't always run smoothly. That means there is a problem when we want to close and open the zip. Remember, we have analyzed our keywords. For the seventh question, the zips on this cabin bag may be difficult to use. Clearly, it is telling us in the first sentence itself. So, however, the zips don't always run smoothly, especially around the corners. So, you may have to give them a good tug, especially if the case is very full. Okay, so wonderful. We got the answer for our seventh question. Let's move on to the next. Let's continue reading the paragraph. This is definitely one to avoid if you are going somewhere rainy. That means it is not at all resistant to water. Anyway, we did confirm that paragraph B is the one which is related to water resistance. So as it gets loads of water in, the documents in the pockets also get pretty wet unless they are plastic folders. So no other no other information is contained in the C paragraph excepting for the seventh one. Let's continue with reading the next paragraph. The sky bag has a single external zipped pocket. Again, the context of pockets has come. So which statement says that? 13th one. The cabin bag has just one internal zipped pocket, but it is telling so far that it has a single external zipped pocket. Now let's continue. And another located inside. Now it says that this bag contains one external pocket and one internal pocket. So clearly the answer for the 13th question is D. Okay, now let's continue. The zips are very easy to grip and they run smoothly around the case. Okay, no problem with operating the zips. However, this cabin bag felt a little heavy to pull on but smooth floors, and it was hard to steer compared with some of the other suitcases. That means, what is it? It is very difficult to pull because it's very heavy, excepting on smooth floors. Did we get this context anywhere that it is very difficult to move this bag? Let's go ahead and see. Yes, you have got it right. The 12th statement. This cabin bag isn't very easy. That means it is very difficult to move it. So this is how you need to analyze the meaning, guys. So again, we found that the paragraph D contained two answers. What are they? The answers for question number 13 as well as question number 12. So that is how you need to get the answers, guys. Let's proceed with paragraph E. The Travel Show 35 is available in a huge range of fabric designs. So it is equipped with a lot of designs on the fabric. Did we get anything related to fabric? Yes. 11th question. There is a good choice of patterns for the fabric. So that indicates that the answer for this question is E, because it comes with a range of fabric designs including leopard print or lipstick kisses. Okay, so these are the various designs. The retractable trolley handle is comfortable but cannot be adjusted. So that is not the answer that we are looking for. There is no internal divider, but there are two handy pockets with a lid. We test each bag by letting it fall onto a hard floor, and our results show that you have to treat this bag with great care if you want it to last. That means you have to be extremely careful, and if it is dropped onto a hard floor, definitely it will break. So what is the answer for 8th one? This bag may be badly damaged if it is dropped. Yes, we can clearly see that in this paragraph. So we test each bag by letting it fall. Letting it fall is nothing but dropped, and our results show that you will have to treat this bag with great care. Otherwise, what will happen? It will be badly damaged. Now let's move on to the next paragraph. So that's it. Okay, fine. So I think we got all the answers, and for your convenience, what I have done is I have given the answers and I have also given the paragraphs here so that you can give it a read. You can pause the video here, you can read it and then confirm the right answer. So I have done the same process for all the questions. I hope by now you have understood what is paramatching, how to identify the information by reading the paragraph, and what is NB, and what are the important steps that you need to follow while answering this. And this is the key. Again, I have given it as a list for you to cross check if at all you want to. So this is how you need to solve the first section in Cambridge 14 general training book. And I'm very soon going to release the second part of this test solve papers. So I hope for now you have clearly understood the first 14 questions and how to solve them. If you found this video useful, please do give it a like, share it with all your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to our channel to receive the latest updates and information related to your IELTS preparation. So till I see you with the next part of this solve reading test video, happy preparation guys.